Hi, everybody. Welcome to Literary Tuesdays. I'm your host, Marilyn Alexander. I'm a publisher and the founder of Destined to Publish. Destined to Publish is a Christian based, independent, hybrid publishing company with a focus on literary coaching. We have almost 20 years in the publishing industry, and very soon we will celebrate the milestone of having published our 400th author. And our authors are both nationally and abroad. My goal is to take each and every one of our authors by the hand and walk them step by step along their publishing journey. Because I believe more than anything else that just because you're self-publishing does not mean you have to publish by yourself. So, welcome back to Literary Tuesdays. We've taken a little bit of a sabbatical because in the month of April, we always prepare for our Destined to Publish Authors Conference. And so this was our 8th annual conference, and I tell you, it was absolutely amazing. Phenomenal speakers, phenomenal information, and every person who attended was tremendously blessed. And so today, as we cap off the month of April, I wanted to just show you some highlights from the Destined to Publish Authors Conference. So just in case you missed it, we can give you just some snippets of what you missed. And then to whet your appetite for what is to come this year. And I just want to say that this year's conference was strictly based with strategy. The goal of the conference itself was to give strategies in every aspect of the publishing industry and give you keys and tools for what you need in terms of publishing and writing. Writing first and then publishing second. My goal here for the Destined to Publish Authors Conference is to always give authors, give writers information, valuable information that you can use as you walk away from the conference to inspire you to move to the next step. And I know that this year, our speakers did just that. They gave keys, they gave tools, they gave strategies that walked each of our authors, each of our attendees, each of our registrants on their road or to their road to publish their manuscript. So let's take a look at some of the highlights from this year's Destined to Publish 2022. Take a look.
Workshops. I know Marilyn through Destined to Publish does workshops, lots of things. You want to make sure you're educated on the different genres, nonfiction genres, memoir, fiction, novel, young adult, all of those things. You can learn what those specific, what the genre specific things are to make sure that your book is fitting in that space so that your readers are easily helped. It's really not about you as much as it is about you, but the purpose for why you want to write well and to really plan it well is not about you, it's about them. And God has called you to them. He's called you to serve them through your writing. That's why I started with seek God, because you need that heart of compassion. Compassion also is something that is a huge motivator. It is a spiritual tool. It is a supernatural empowerment that causes, if you look at Jesus's ministry, compassion is one of those things, is the thing that fueled his miracle working power. So the Bible says that he was filled with compassion and he healed them. He set them free from bondages and from torment of the enemy. So you're doing a lot of that work in your writing, and it will absolutely take a heart of compassion to motivate you to take these classes, because you're doing it on behalf of the reader. You're going to do the hard work in your writing so that it's easy reading and a clear path to deliverance and healing and a better life, abundant life, whatever that is for your reader. I hope that I'm making that clear.
You have to connect to that why in order to have the right face in your mind, in order to truly be able to identify who your intended audience is. Because who cares about all of the creative outlets and strategies and work if you're talking to the wrong people? And so understanding those images, even if you're starting with the man in the mirror, right? Even if that's where your why starts, even if that's the face that you see your 22-year-old self that you wish someone had spoken to, that'll help drive your purpose.
As it pertains to authors specifically, we want to copyright the transcript of your book. That's the most important thing. There are other options on what you can copyright. By definition, a copyright is the right to make copy of, distribute, or make derivative works of one particular piece of work. That was a lot, but it's to make copies of, duplicate, distribute, or make derivatives of one particular piece of work. The author is the only one that has that right unless they allow someone else a license to do the same. Initially and on the surface, the author is the only one that has the right to do that. When you are the author of a particular piece of work, you have a copyright inherently on anything that you create. If you're a parent and your child comes up to you and they scribble on a piece of paper and they hand it to you, and they do this 100 times a day, and they're like, "Oh, mommy, look what I created," and you have to act like it is like the Mona Lisa, right? No matter what it is, that child has a copyright already on that scribble that they made. The difference with copywriting and trademarking is that copywriting, you don't actually have to file anything to have a copyright on this work. For a federal trademark, you have to file, and it has to be registered and approved by the United States Patent and Trademark Office before you have a federally registered trademark. A copyright is not the same. The instant that you create something, the instant that you write this poem, the instant that you write this book of love letters, the instant that you paint this painting, or color this picture, or make this dance routine, or make a music song, write a song, you have a copyright on that material. Things get tricky when you want to defend that material, but you haven't filed something. So although you don't have to file something to have a copyright on it, it's very difficult to defend that as the original author if you've never filed anything proving that you are the original author. So although it's not required, it is essential to the process of defending your work to file a copyright on every piece of work that you create. So every book that you write, all your poems, all of these things should be filed, and we encourage you to do it before you publish it publicly, to file a copyright on that material.
And those who love it will eat the fruit thereof. Um, love it means comfortable in what you say. You say it naturally. It feels good to say. It's like a release. It's like a little complaint that makes you feel better about what frustrates you. Don't do that. And I have times where I want to say, I don't have enough time. And then I go, shh, don't say that, because that's counterproductive. What you want to say is, I chose not to do this today. Or, I spent more time on this activity than I thought I would. Like, just be very careful. Put a guard at your mouths, because the small foxes spoil the vine. And as we employ these very doable and very potentially effective strategies, we don't want to, shoot ourselves in the foot by cursing our time, because it's your servant, it's an asset, and it is a gift.
Yourself. You cannot assume because of your sister is Nisha's network that your book gonna go viral. And my sister is Nisha's network. And I think she's pretty phenomenal. But you cannot assume because Nisha's network that your book's gonna go viral. And if you do nothing, I gave it to Nisha's network. Well, if you pay her a nice marketing fee, and she does charge, to launch your book, then that's a different workshop. But if you are doing this thing independently and don't have the support and the crew and the team, you have to develop pre-launch content in order to get your book, people to get interest, to gain activity, for people to even know, what are you doing? And I'm staying on this point because I feel like a lot of books go on the shelf and they're holding up windows to let the air in for the summer. And their books are not selling. And you're like, I paid all that money to Destined to Publish and nobody bought my book. Well, y'all didn't know I was coming. I didn't know I was coming this way today, but I am. I want you to work on building your brand and building it effective. And guess what? The person that has to be the most excited, the most energetic, the most wowed, when you read your book, you need to be like, oh, that was good. Man, I'm preaching to myself. Like, you got to get excited about your brand. Nobody is, except you first. And then it's a trickle effect. It's a drip effect. And I'm done.
But let me tell you, I just want to encourage you for a second. It makes no sense that you would stop short of the prize after you have already paid the price. I want you to hear that really quick, clearly. It makes no sense to stop short of the prize, the finished product, because you've already paid the price. See, your story, your experience, that what you've learned, that what you've experienced, that what you've heard, you've already got it. It's already happened to you. The heartbreak that you suffered, the pain that you dealt with, the torment, the frustration, all of that stuff, you've already been through it all. So if you stay stuck, you receive the price, but you never really earned the prize. You've already dealt the character for the root, but you never produce the fruit. Too many nights struggling, too many nights planning. And I want to tell you something, if you're a writer, no one understands what you're going through like you. There's no choir, there's no cheerleader. It's just you, and you're lonesome with the echo chamber of your thoughts, wondering if it's even worth it to put this down on paper. Well, I know the place you are right now is exactly where you need to be. And you can't allow yourself to go through each of these sessions today, because no guarantee of tomorrow matters if you don't invest in yourself today. You have to.
Wow. As amazing as those clips were, they could not possibly explain the anointing that was in that room on Saturday. From the strategy of planning it with Javon Bolden to the strategy of writing it with Kara May. Then we moved to the strategy of protecting it with Kiana McGee. And from our working lunch, we went to the strategy of planning it with Elise Howard. And then in the afternoon, Deborah Anthony followed it up with the strategy of branding it. And Stephen Crawford brought it all home with the strategy of do it. All of that power-packed energy in one amazing afternoon. Now, the only strategy that was not contained in those clips was the strategy of publish it. And for that, it was yours truly. And I just wanted to take a moment just today because as I was praying about the strategy of publish it, how to give it to our audience, God brought me back to a little toolkit. And some of you who've been to our Destined to Publish Authors Conferences in the past will recognize this toolkit that I created called the Author's Toolkit. And the purpose of this little toolkit was to tell authors exactly the things that they needed inside their book, how to structure their book, the things that were important as a part of bringing their book together. But as I was planning for this conference, God gave me that Destined to Publish is your toolkit. Every single thing that you need to publish your book, every single thing that you need, the strategies that you need to write your book, all of those strategies, all of those tools that you need to get your book completed is all in one toolkit, and that toolkit is Destined to Publish. From your coaching, from editing, to design, to all of your legal work, then to actually publishing your book, Destined to Publish has every tool that you need to publish your book. And as I told our audience on Saturday, there are only 2 tools that are missing. And those are the tools that you bring to the toolkit yourself. The first tool is your tool of family. It takes a village to build a book. It takes a village to write a book. And so even with that, that is your tool to keep you motivated, surrounding yourself with people who are encouraging you to complete your book. And the second tool is your motivation to do it. We can bring all of these things together for you, but without your 100% motivation and your 100% participation, your book will stay exactly where it is right now. And that is not where God designed it to be. 2022 is still your year to publish. This is still your year to put pen to paper and to move out of your comfort zone and be able to inspire someone to move out of theirs. So even as we close this Literary Tuesday, I want to put a call to action. Go to our website, click on that link, and let's talk. Let's sit down, take an opportunity to discuss the book that God has on the inside of you and put a plan of action in order. Let's start you on your journey to publishing, because 2022 is your year. This is your year to do exactly all that God has called you to do. And one of those things is to write. One of those things is to publish. And Destined to Publish has the tools to help you do that. So go over to our website, www.destinedtopublish.com, click on that link, and let's talk. Let's schedule that consultation. And when you fill out that information, we're going to commit to you. We're going to send you an email so that you can schedule a consultation with us. And let's talk about it, because we're going to help you publish in 2022. And for Literary Tuesday, I'm Marilyn Alexander, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.
For I know you are good. I will trust in you, for you are good. I will trust in you, for I know you are good.
Hi, my name is Kiana McGee. I am an attorney and I am here at D22.
So my name is Kara May with Destined to Publish. I'm a consultant and literary coach.
Hi, everybody. I am Marilyn Alexander. I am a publisher and the founder of Destined to Publish.
Today, I was able to talk about everything IP. So I am a trademark attorney. I help clients, entrepreneurs, and authors, musicians, poets, everybody protect their creative works. So today I got to talk about everything copyrights and trademarks, helping authors understand the importance of creating their work.
So today my segment was called Write It, and it was about creative strategies and tips to help authors write the manuscript that they're seeking to write. We talked about writer's block. We talked about the essential questions you need to be able to ask yourself. We talked about finishing strongly, and then went through some strategies to help authors get to where they need to go.
Today, my session was on the strategy of publishing it and how to put the team together and understand all the tools that you need to make sure your book goes from your head all the way through to a finished project.
This conference was amazing. Coming into this conference, even as a speaker, I learned so much from the other guests that were here. I can't wait till next year. I'm sure it's going to get even better.
Just an amazing, power-packed experience. Every contributor, every speaker, every middle section, every author who got to get up and talk about their books, it all really just worked together seamlessly to provide, I think, a really good structure and foundation for budding authors or even authors who've already written to get them ready for the next leg of their journey.
For me, the best part of the conference was the registrants and all the information that they received, all the feedback in the chat, and all of the exciting information that they gave us to tell us that this was the place that they were supposed to be on today.